God bless America. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Protege program. I am the Talk Radio Protege, your happy and gracious host. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that when you get to the end of this video, you'll give it a like, maybe share, and maybe even subscribe to the channel. If you're on VidMe, you'll have to follow for now. But let's get right into it. Man, it's hot out here. So this from Rasmussen poll. If you remember, we talked about the debt ceiling deal that Trump cut with congressional Democrats. And I told you how I was not surprised at all about the deal. The people who I was angry at were congressional Republicans. So it is not surprising at all to me that this poll would show that voters are just fine with Trump's deal. In fact, Republicans are the most enthusiastic about the deal, coming in at 72%, followed by independents and then by Democrats. I suppose any surprise that I have is that Democrat voters were not outraged by this deal, because you know Democrats hate Trump. Everything Democrats that the Democrat voter is about right now is hate Trump. So I'm somewhat surprised that they don't hate their own elected officials for cutting a deal with Hitler incarnate, but they did. It's also no surprise to me that Republican voters are happy and enthusiastic about this deal, because who are Republican voters angry at? I'll give you some hints. Here are your hints for this pop quiz. Who has been screwing the Republican base voter for the past 7 years? Who has been screwing Republican voters on defunding Obamacare? Who has been screwing Republican voters on stopping Obamacare? Who has screwed Republican voters on repealing Obamacare? Who has screwed Republican voters on slowing the Obama agenda? Who screwed Republican voters when they said, we're going to give Obama literally anything that he wants and then some? For example, the budget deal of 2015. Who screwed Republican voters when it came to funding the border wall the first chance that we got back in, I think it was February? Who screwed Republicans by letting the Democrats offer the more conservative debt ceiling deal? And I'll give you a hint. It's not the Democrats. The bottom line is, voters have seen once and for all, they've had the spotlight shined in their eyes and can see that elected Republicans are not serious about the agenda that they were elected into office on. And that brings me to this story from Politico that calls President Trump Teflon Don. They say that Democrat attacks have not succeeded whatsoever in hurting the president, except for in his quote-unquote approval rating. And I think it's because his supporters know beyond doubt at this point that it's not Trump who is slowing his own agenda. It's not even Democrats that are slowing his agenda. It would be one thing if Trump was doing everything that he could to advance his agenda, but he had an opposing Congress stopping him. But that's not the case. It's his own freaking party that is stopping his agenda. And that's what has Republican voters outside their own minds with frustration and anger. It doesn't matter if Trump signed 0 major legislation pieces before 2020 and Republicans remain in control from now until then. I think Trump would get reelected and the entire Republican Congress would be out. The fact of the matter is, as several conservative pundits have pointed out, like Lindsey Graham and Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh, this is the chance for Republicans to drive the final nails in the coffin for Democrats as a political party for the next generation. If they would get out of their own freaking ways and implement this agenda. 90% of the Trump agenda is what, quote, is what conservatives have campaigned. I think that's a brand new one. I've never heard anybody call these rhinos conservatives. I'm going to keep using it. Because what else should you call it when these rhinos have campaigned on conservative values, conservative politics, and conservative policy for the past 7 years, and the first president that they get in office that is going to sign the policies that they've been campaigning on, they refuse to do squat about it. The conservatives have the first opportunity to pass all the legislation that they've been campaigning on. It's their opportunity to neuter the Democrats for a generation. And they sit on their hands and do nothing. It drives me mad. It leaves me nearly speechless. I feel like I don't have the right words to, I know my power is low. I feel like I don't have the right words to describe the anger that I feel at these conservatives for the situation that we're in. President Trump's approval rating is at, 40% or 36%, whatever it is, because he hasn't passed any major legislation. And he hasn't passed any major legislation because of the liberal, rhino, conservative Republicans in the House and mostly the Senate. I just don't think that I have the appropriate words to describe how I feel. Let me know if you feel the same way. Let me know if you feel differently. Let me know what you're thinking, period. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like, maybe give me a subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you would share this video and get some of the word out there. I really appreciate your support. I especially appreciate you making it to this point in the video. So thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful evening. God bless. God bless you, and God bless America.